Nobody in my family was a scientist before. I actually loved to cook as a child, and I think it was that concept of mixing ingredients together and coming up with a product that one couldn't even anticipate perhaps from the ingredients, which I found very appealing. Chemistry is actually closely related to cooking. It's the same sort of concepts of mixing ingredients together, although with chemistry you may have a better ability to predict what your outcome might be. What I do for ONR as a program manager is support basic and applied research in the biosciences area, specifically biotechnology. I'm very interested in microbial science and as well in some areas of medical science. So microbial science is the study of microbes, which are one-celled organisms that are found everywhere. In fact, our bodies have 10 times more microbiological cells than they do human cells. And without them, we wouldn't be surviving. They actually help digest our food, they help protect us from infection, so they really support our system, and in turn we help support their system. The kinds of things that microbes can do to help the Navy are to help remediate pollutants, to help produce energy, to help prevent infection in systems that we engineer. And I'm sure there are many other applications that we're just beginning to appreciate. What I love about my job is that as a program officer at ONR, first of all, I get to meet cool people doing cool science. Travel, go to conferences, talk to people about what they're passionate about their science. So we've had some breakthroughs that I think are substantial. We have one occurring right now that has to do with the vaccine. So developing a technology or approach for vaccines to protect people against infections. In this particular case, we're focusing on a biological warfare agent. And against all probability, these investigators have come up with a vaccine approach that appears to be 100% protective in mice. And so now we're attracting a lot of attention. It's actually very exciting to be contributing to that area of science. So if I were to give advice to students who are thinking about pursuing careers in science, technology, engineering, or math, I would advise them not to neglect the necessary skills of reading, analyzing written words, and then being able to produce writing that others can understand. Because often what you need to do with science, or perhaps other than mathematics, science and technology, is understand it, read information, understand it, interpret it, not just as a scientist, but be able to rewrite it in a way that others can understand, or to articulate it in a way that others can understand. That's applicable if you're going to be a professor, or even if you're a scientist at a government lab, or even in my job, where you have to be able to do that. We have to think about the what could be science fiction. I hope we reduce these things to practice and they're not science fiction, but sort of taking us to perspectives and areas that people aren't really even thinking about or just starting to think about now.